Supergirl, Atrocitus, Atlantis.
You gonna spit up on me, Atrocitus?
Irritating female.
You know who else does that? Babies. Which part of you hurts the worst?
For the Red Lantern! Together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all! That is your fate!
Supergirl wins.
You can wear a red ring.
Red jewelry's kind of for old ladies.
Look me at your peril!
Now don't you feel silly?
Gorilla Grodd, Superman, Atlantis.
You won't rule Earth, Grodd.
Nor will you, Superman.
I have and will again. Ready to quit yet?
Gorilla Grodd wins. Aquaman, Batman, Metropolis.
Atlantis can't be my enemy.
Next time, try diplomacy.
I did, that's why we're here.
I will not be your ally.
Not the smartest choice.
Batman wins. Superhero. Batman. Gotham City.
I'm not Clark's enemy.
This sure is a funny way to show it.
You haven't heard the whole story.
Which part of you hurts the worst?
Supergirl wins.
I'm not Clark's enemy. Don't waste my time.
Now apologize. Still fighting a girl, hero?
You're no ordinary girl.
Supergirl wins.
What purpose will this serve? It will clear the air. Or bloody the water. Conspire against you. Superman. At least I'm half human.
You say that like it's a good thing.
It's taught me compassion. I grow tired of you.
Hard to tell, but you look grumpy.
Kryptonians give me headaches.
You're in for a doozy. We need to work out more.
Supergirl wins.
Hey everybody, we're coming at you live from E3 here in the PlayStation booth at the LA Convention Center. I am joined by none other than legendary Mortal Kombat co-creator Ed Boon. One of my favorite guys in the biz. Always a smile on your face, I love it. You're a diabolical genius. You just have so much fun with this stuff.
Thanks.
And you've got Injustice 2.
Yes, we do.
This is really exciting.
Yeah, we're very excited to kind of give people their first look at the game here, and one of the few live gameplay things here with the game showing us, what's new, the new characters that are in the game, and this new gear system. We're very excited.
That's great. It's an honor to have you here. It's an honor to have the game playable here. We're going to be checking out some actual in-game battles. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So first up, walk us through these characters. I obviously recognize Batman. Who else do we have?
Yeah, we have 3 returning characters: Aquaman, Batman, and Superman. And 2 or 3 characters new to the Injustice universe: Atrocitus, who's like a Red Lantern, Gorilla Grodd, one of Flash's villains, and Supergirl. Who is very much in the forefront of things lately.
Yeah,
so,
she is.
Yeah. So we have that and three environments and a good demonstration of our gear system. So it's a lot of cool new stuff to show you.
Awesome. And I'm sure we'll be seeing this. Man, Atrocitus looks really cool. I'm sure we're going to be seeing this, but essentially, as I understand it, when you win a match, you essentially get like kind of a loot drop. Is that kind of how that works?
Yeah, exactly. We call it a gear system, and in the simplest of terms, gear can be described as costume pieces that power up your character. You know, so there are a number of ways. You're always going to be getting, like you said, like these drops of gear that will, you know, a new cowl for Batman, new utility belt, new boots for Superman, and they come with it, you know, power-ups for your characters, so you can, like, you know, do a little bit more damage on the environments, or your attack damage is a little bit more, or your defensive blocking damage is a little more, and tons of variables, and you're constantly getting them. You're constantly deciding which ones you want to use based on like the kind of Batman that you want to craft. And so effectively it's like, you know, you're making your Batman, I'm making my Batman. We might meet up online,
Yeah.
and it's yours versus mine.
That's awesome.
And it's different. They look different too. So that's the customization and personalization is really what kind of sets this apart from certainly the Last Injustice or any other fighting game.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before in a fighting game. It actually is one of those things where I never would have thought of it, but now that you mention it, it's like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah,
I want that in my fighting game.
Yeah.
And I mean, Injustice, we're seeing some great footage here. This game's looking real sharp. NetherRealm, known for high production values in general, and we've seen that with Mortal Kombat X, now we're seeing it with Injustice 2. So tell me a little bit about these two characters we're seeing here, and some of the, you know, the pros and cons that they have.
Yeah, you know, these are the two of the new characters that we've had here. You know, Atrocitus is basically, if you think of Green Lantern, except for he's a big monster, has hate, and he has a lot of blood. He's kind of a anti-hero version of Green Lantern, but a lot meaner. Yeah.
Bam!
Yeah. And he's with Gorilla Grodd, who's one of Flash's villains. And Gorilla Grodd is kind of like, you know, he's a gorilla, and he's had all these crazy like animal-like attacks, but he also has a high intellect. So he has telekinetic abilities. He can make you beat yourself up. He can levitate in the air and stuff. And so it's a great, I think they're two great additions to our roster.
One of the things I love about what you guys did with Injustice 1, which was a huge hit with me and my friends, we love that game. It's got such a great sense of humor, but it's still I think we got, what are these called again? Ultimate?
The transitions, yeah.
Oh, the transitions.
Like he's knocking him into another arena with a whole new kind of palette of objects that you can use in the fight.
So good.
Yeah.
But one of the things I've always loved about Injustice is, you know, it's not just Batman and Joker or whatever. It's you guys kind of get down in the weeds a little bit there on the DC IP, which I think is really smart.
Yeah. We love having the obviously the forefront characters, but we also love the more little less recognizable but very cool characters, and some of them we've you know, we're hoping we can, you know, even show more people who've never experienced them, and then get them, you know, they'll be, oh, I'm gonna go read a comic about.
Yeah,
this guy
I know who this guy is. Yeah,
exactly.
And I mean, that was what Injustice 1 was for me. There's so many characters there. I said, that's a DC character?
Yeah.
I never even heard of that guy.
Yeah.
But he ended up being like super cool, you know, and ended up really kind of grabbing onto him. So here we have Aquaman. I think Injustice 1. That's great. That's great. The little taunt before they fight.
Yeah.
Aquaman in the original Injustice, the most badass Aquaman of all time.
Yeah.
Easily my favorite character in the game.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit cheap. I love his strikes where he can strike anywhere on the screen. But and now we have Supergirl. So tell me a little bit about how Aquaman has kind of made the jump here to Injustice 2.
Yeah.
What we can expect out of Supergirl.
Yeah, you know, one of our goals was we wanted to make the most badass Aquaman that's ever existed.
Yeah.
And you know, his big super with the shark that comes out and grabs the other guy.
So good.
And I think we actually topped it with this version of Aquaman. And Supergirl is, you know, actually we always want to have, you know, girl power in our games.
Of course.
And Supergirl, you know, with her TV show and everything like that. So we really wanted to kind of give her her due representation in the game. But Aquaman Super with this kind of prehistoric shark is even cooler than the last one, you know. So some people who've seen that footage.
Oh, so it's like a megalodon or something?
Oh, it's kind of like a part shark, part, you know, dinosaur.
Yeah, that's the best kind of shark. Anytime you have a shark that's part dinosaur,
yeah, that's the Trench Queen. It's all part of Aquaman's lore.
Oh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, maybe we'll see the Aquaman super move.
I hope so.
Get him in here. That'd be
so it looks like we're fighting in Atlantis here?
Yes. Atlantis is one of the 3 arenas that we brought. Atlantis, Metropolis, and Gotham City are the 3 that we brought here. Here's that.
Here we go. Let's see it.
With Aquaman.
Bam. Oh, now I see the dinosaur. That's crazy. So good, so good. So you guys, what are these moves called again? I forget. They're called.
The super moves are like the grand
moves.
over the top moves. That's when you have your bar full,
Right.
and you use it all.
Oh, here we go.
Supergirl actually flies her opponent around the sun.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. I could watch it all day. That's great.
Yeah.
And you guys must have, when you were making Injustice 2, you must have thought about, hey, do we do a fatality type of system? And I think it's interesting that you kind of took this route instead, because they're a lot of fun to pull off.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just, we're the studio that makes Mortal Kombat.
Right.
And so, there are things that we really didn't want to feel confined to, the block button,
Right.
fatalities, and all that. And, this is a T-rated game. So we don't want to do all the crazy stuff. That's for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly.
We're a little bit more, like it's a little simpler. It's back to block. It's
Right.
not holding the block button. So we really want this game to be its own kind of entity with its own rules and its own kind of feature set.
Mm-hmm.
And with the sequel, we were kind of like, okay, of course we're going to bring back the favorite characters. Of course we're going to expand the roster, but we wanted to do something that was unexpected. That's kind of the whole gear system that comes into play.
Which
there.
is, I think is going to work out real nicely. It's a great way to keep people playing. And, I still love these little character selection, taunt, little trading blows thing. That's great. And I've been a big fan of your games for a long time. I loved Mortal Kombat vs. DC. I loved Mortal Kombat, the reboot, Mortal Kombat X, Injustice. And one of the things that's been so fun to see you guys do is to kind of move more and more towards this kind of narrative system,
yes,
which is, I think, so powerful and such an important, maybe even underappreciated innovation in fighting games, because hey, not everyone could be a tournament great fighter, right?
Exactly.
I want to sit down maybe and have just like a cool story that I could beat my way through.
Exactly. Any game with a roster of characters, Mortal Kombat, one of the things that's always stood out was it had a roster of characters and they had a relationship with each other, and there was a story. And so we started presenting it with the cinematic, method where the player participates in the fighting. And so when we did Injustice, again, it's a perfect marriage. You have Superman and Batman and Aquaman, and they're not talking to each other, they're not acknowledging each other.
Yeah.
That's a waste of such a great, opportunity with them. So, we did in Injustice and in Injustice 2, we're going to have a really deep cinematic story experience, like watching a movie.
Yeah.
And
or a really good TV show, maybe.
Exactly, and participating in the fights.
Which is so cool. I love the one in Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat 9 or Mortal Kombat the reboot, that was a revelation.
Yeah.
And I went, oh God, I didn't know how bad I wanted this. And then in Mortal Kombat X, I felt like it was like almost like perfected. Like it was like the story was really tight. It was really interesting, Yeah. And obviously the Warner Brothers and the DC franchises here, they give you a lot of room to play with.
It was great. We actually managed to carve out our own, slice of the multiverse and say, okay, in our world,
this is our version. Yeah,
exactly.
That's
in our
great.
world, Superman is a tyrant.
That's
and
awesome.
These bad things happen to him, and and we have our story arc going. When we the last game, Batman put Superman in prison.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue that storyline and find out what happens after that. It's been fun to create all that stuff.
So where is Superman these days? What's he up to?
Well, when we last left him off, he was in prison. And as you might guess, since he's in the game, he may get out. So
I wonder if he could get out of that prison.
Right, in some capacity. But yeah, that's part of, I guess, what we're going to be revealing in the next few months is like the details of the story and how cool that's going to be mixed in.
That's awesome, and I'm kind of transfixed here watching Batman do his thing with Supergirl here. Now, Batman, obviously, one of the most iconic of all superheroes, and one of my favorite characters, frankly, in the last game. Oh, I like the shadowing effect that's on the wall there. That's really cool.
Yeah, the lighting's really dramatic in this arena.
And that's one of the nice things here, too. When you made Injustice, one of the best-looking games on last gen. Absolutely. You guys must have squeezed every pixel out of PS3.
Yeah.
And so now you guys are on a whole new hardware baseline. You guys can really turn on the graphics.
Exactly. Yeah. We've this is a new graphics engine for us, and we have a lot of nuances and details that we weren't able to do before, and our facial animations, much more detail. Characters come out just like in Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah.
They talk to each other, and they reveal part of their history. So a lot of times, two people will say something to each other that's, related to, Flashpoint Story
Yeah.
or Killing Joke or something like
I
that.
love that.
And people love those little nuggets of nods to previous stories.
Yeah.
that are in it. Yeah.
Now, one of the things that's so great about Mortal Kombat, and then especially Mortal Kombat X, you guys have been so good about supporting these games post-launch with
Yeah.
really cool characters. So
Yeah.
just kind of want to pick your brain. Do you think a similar strategy is going to apply to Injustice too?
Absolutely. And actually, it's been a progression. If you look back to Mortal Kombat 2011, we had 4 DLC characters that we released. Injustice had 6 DLC characters that reached out. Mortal Kombat X had 8 characters, so you can see where we're going
Yeah.
as far as our, we really want the games to be supported not only with DLC characters, but with, in tournaments and prize pools and all that
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's been a great part of making it too.
It's super important, and Ed, you guys, once again, you're doing fine work here as always, so really glad to have you by. PlayStation Livecast here as we're sitting down seeing all the best and brightest at E3, Injustice 2 clearly among that group, so thanks again for coming by.
It wouldn't be an E3 for our company without coming to visit you guys.
I appreciate that, and I'm going to be talking more soon with you, I think.
This game looks incredible. One of the things when we were in Chicago that I thought was absolutely amazing was the super moves that you have. And you teased some of them in the trailer with, obviously, you got Batman and Superman and going at each other. But tell us, this game, let's talk about sort of the customizations. One of the things we were in Chicago you're talking a lot about is how everyone's going to have a different Batman or a different Superman, right?
Yeah.
Tell us how that works.
Yeah, fighting games are all about, the character that you're playing. And for the most part, when people play the character, it's the character that we made, and you basically learn it, you master it, you learn the nuances of it, but you don't really change what it does. And that's kind of what we're introducing with this game. We're really like saying, okay, here's a base version of Aquaman, here's a base version of Superman, Atrocitus, and that's your starting point. And then when you start acquiring gear, and that gear actually makes your character more powerful, and you're the one who chooses what it is that it's going to enhance as far as the part of the game. And as we can see before, our super moves were kind of like, we set such a high bar before. It's kind of like, so we're trying to really just supersede all of this.
I love that that's all in engine, all this insanity.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now I know at E3 here you're showing, I think it's you have 3 areas, 4 characters, or what can we expect?
We're going to see 6 characters.
6 characters.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and 3 arenas. They're kind of like famous ones, Metropolis, Gotham City, and Atlantis. You might notice as you're seeing the gameplay here is, when you see Batman for the second time, he looks a little bit different. That's because that's a different Batman. When you see Grodd for the second time, it's a little bit different. Yeah. Everybody's is going to look different, and that's what's so exciting about it, because they're going to actually have, the most personalized. The personalization is what we're really adding to this game, as far as making your version of Batman, your version of Superman, your version of Grodd, and just the outrageousness in it.
It looks insane. Well, Ed, thank you so much.
You appear feeble.
I punch above my weight.
What do you want, Grodd? Your head on a plate. say that battle changes you. It makes you stronger. More ferocious. A monster in the night. Watching. Learning. Hunting. Each time I enter the pit, I emerge reborn. Put the devil on the other side, and I will show up. Evolved. Adapted. And prepared to fight.